This video may contain spoilers for Jumanji 1994. Thank you. Hello again, folks. This is Dragon Videos, ready to present a symbolism, and this time I'm going to focus on the film Jumanji. And no, not that one! Actually, I'm talking about the Jumanji from 1994 that featured Robin Williams. And here is the plot behind this movie. In the year 1976, I believe, two kids named Alan and Sarah discover a bizarre board game and start to play. In the beginning, things did not end so well, thus resulting a mysterious disappearance of young Alan Parrish and Sarah screaming away. Years later, Judy and Peter now come across the mysterious board game after moving into the Parrish house. They do play, unfortunately unleashing some monkeys, a lion, and a man in a horrible need of a shave. Along the way, they realize that this strange man was actually Alan Parrish, who had to witness the tragedies and tribulations in the world of Jumanji, which represented the African plains that happened. Ironically, Jumanji is a Zulu term for many special effects, these special effects are treacherous than the last. Please watch the movie if you do not believe me. Anyway, this 1994 got me very interested after watching it a couple of times. You see, I found that there was a lot of symbolism in the 1994 film, and I thought it'd be best to talk about some of that symbols that are hidden beneath it. One of them in particular are the game pieces that the four main characters possess, especially Alan's. So hang on tight and get ready to go over the symbolism of Jumanji. It may not look like it first glance, but Alan is actually the richest kid in his town, and the reason why was because his father runs a shoe factory. The problem was, it caused him to be picked on a lot by his kids in school, so he was thought to be known as a man to stand his ground. But unfortunately, it resulted in him getting stuck in the board game after his argument with his father. When Judy and Peter got him out, he was not exactly too fond of playing the game, but realizing that if he wants to have a normal life again, he has no choice but continue on playing and helping them survive. So, the game piece that Alan has is elephant-shaped, and elephants are known to be wise, strong, and have stability. So, in terms of wisdom and strength, this fits Alan to a T. You see, in terms of wisdom, he knew all about the dangers that is in the jungles, so he uses those skills to help Judy, Peter, and Sarah from getting killed in the process. Not only doing that, but he also shows strength when he has to fight off an alligator as well as a lion. Watch those scenes if you don't believe me. And in terms of stability, it's a very interesting one, but I think it's because elephants have an amazing sense of strength in their body. You've probably seen some of their balancing acts before in circuses or in other parts of nature. Anyway, this stability seems appropriate in terms of Alan. You see, in the beginning of a film, he thought his father didn't love him so much, and that was something that Alan desperately needed. He needed some sorts of wisdom of that it was okay to be a man and it's okay to be afraid and crying, because his father thought it was not okay for those sorts of things to happen, as well as the fact that because of those speeches and talks that he and his father have, Alan didn't seem like he was nothing more than garbage to his father. But learning the truth, he finally faced what he feared most and able to obtain a family he deserved. So Sarah was basically Alan's love interest in the beginning of the film, even though it didn't blossom until later on. Anyway, she started playing the game first, but the moment Alan disappeared and then Wild African Bass showed up, she basically ran like a bat out of hell. I know. Sorry folks, that was a bad joke. Anyway, when she found out that Alan was alive and well, you can imagine her reaction resulted in her fainting. And of course, like Alan, she wasn't exactly too keen on going back to playing that game. But like Alan, she had no other choice. If all of those things from Jumanji's perils are gonna go away, she has to play the game. And upon doing so, she had to deal with a lot of issues and a lot of challenges while trying to be an assuring person to both Judy and Peter. So her game piece was the Rhino, a very sturdy pachyderm who is known for charging. In the crest of arms, they're known for being tenacity, which is understandable because they keep charging a lot, as well as courage. This fits well in terms of Sarah's character growth. In the beginning, she was afraid to even touch the board game after nearly being attacked by bats. But later on in the game, she still stayed with everything that happened, took it to a grain of sand, and as well as stay with Alan through the bitter end, even risk going up to the point where this time around she actually tried to help Alan when he was going through some quicksand. He even said, "Thanks for sticking around this time," which highlighted her character arc. And of course, thanks to her actually sticking with Alan and trying to be overcoming her own fears of the game, she and Alan began to have a bigger relationship, which definitely grew off over time when towards the tail end of the movie, which definitely means a lot. So basically we have Peter, who is the strong and silent type at the beginning of the film. And his piece is the monkey, which usually is known as a trickster in most fairy tales and movie franchises, as well as being symbolizing for very cunning, smart, as well as being agile. They can also be considered heroes in a certain folklore, like the Japanese folklore. I don't remember too well, but I know it involves a monkey king somewhere in that quality. Anyway, it represents Peter's quick thinking, as well as his capability of understanding a situation. He can also pull off a little trick like he did when Alan was reluctant to do his thing. So in some cases, this is Peter not only trying to vocalize his meaning, but also tries to help Alan overcome his personal fears without that sense of shame and helping in any way possible. So we have Judy, who is a very interesting female character. Along with Sarah, she also tries to be less of a damsel in distress. In the beginning and half of the film, she was basically lying through her teeth a lot. And this is a bit appropriate for her totem animal or her game piece. It's basically the crocodile, or if you want to get specific, the Nile crocodile, a very powerful predator found in the African rivers, and is a very strong predator. They're usually symbolized for strength, wisdom, though I don't know why they're that, and they're also known to have crocodile tears. Like the elephant, they're one of the few animals that can actually cry, but they only cry just to cleanse their eyes, not because of sincere thought. Anyway, they're also known to be very patient animals whenever they try to strike at their prey. This focuses very well on Judy because she tries to wait on the right moment and acts fast on her feet, the same way Peter does, which makes them very effective players in the game. And another thing about this is this focuses well on Judy's issues with her parents. She wants to come into terms with the fact that wasn't until later to accept the truth that she misses her mom and dad, even though her relationship with them wasn't exactly the best. I thought it would be interesting to talk a little bit about the monsoon, or basically rainstorms that are commonly found in the eastern portions of the world. You see, in the game, Alan had to immediately put on the jacket or have it above his head, while Sarah thought, well, a little rain would never hurt anyone, and it's good they were inside. Oh, Sarah, you always keep forgetting about this game. Anyway, the monsoon, it has a secret symbol. What I've learned from my symbols class is that sometimes rain represents a certain cleansing, and sometimes monsoons represent a certain renewal for the jungles after a long year of drought. And this, in some cases, represented all four of the characters going through a cleansing process of the demons they had to face over time and becoming more mature later in the film. Saved him for last. Pelt was basically the worst adversary that Alan had to face in Jumanji. He was a hunter from the 1800s who was practically hunting him down mercilessly and not above using women as bait. And here's the thing, hunters can be viewed both good and bad depending on how they're written by the writers. Anyway, hunters can be used to kill people mercilessly, or in some cases they can be used to pursue good intentions. In this case, this can also represent what we fear the most chasing us down. In this case, it was Alan's father. If you notice a little bit, Pelt kind of has a similar voice to that of Alan's dad. As I mentioned before, Alan didn't exactly have a very good relationship with his father, always assuming that he never loved him. But it also probably represented some of Alan's reality of what he feared most in life. And in the final confrontation, this is Alan finally overcoming his personal fears and understanding that of who his father really is, a human being that just needed to grow as well as he did. And so I felt like there was a very strong connection between both the hunter and him. So folks, that's what I have on my thoughts of the symbolism behind the game pieces and the elements in Jumanji. If there's anything else that you think I may be missing, please let me know. Subscribe, comment. This is Dragon Videos, signing off.